I have the wheelie right here, and we're gonna throw one of my 6-ounce mugs on it. I start with 16 ounces of clay for this. Got our 16 ounces of clay. Let's throw. See if we can get this thing to kind of suction on there. Be safe, I'm gonna throw some clay lugs on there. Run it old school. I used to do this all the time. Now we're just gonna do a simple beveled bottom here, just a little bit, and then a beveled edge. So here we go. Look at that. Whew. Obviously this splash pan is not going to be catching very many trimmings because it is so tiny and the piece is so big for it. However, we have the other pottery wheel to catch everything, so who cares? Sponge this off and I'll just burnish it here quick with my finger. There we go, fully thrown and trimmed 6-ounce mug on the wheelie. All right, so next up for this mug is we're gonna add a handle. Now, if you don't have a caulk gun or another tool to make extruded handles, you can actually make a pretty nice coil with a piece of wood. So I'm just gonna start this coil out just a little bit like that, throw it down on my table. This, kind of get started here. Take your piece of wood, go back and forth. Now you have to make sure that you're not getting those flat spots in it. But if you can keep it, and you can get actually pretty nice coil that way. And now we'll actually flatten this with this guy, just to get a little bit of a nice handle there. All right, now one thing that I use to actually attach my handles here is I'll actually use white vinegar instead of just water. So we'll cut our piece to length here. Usually cut a flat spot. We're just going to do like a nice C-shaped handle for this mug here. So one trick too, if you want to see what the handle looks like, just hold your mug right above it. A good idea what the handle is going to look like on the side of it, just by holding your mug directly above that. And then I can use that to actually figure out where I want to cut cut my handle out as well. Now I will score and slip this with my modeling tool. Add some white vinegar. So that's what it will look like there. Now I always reinforce my handles just with a little coil clay, and then I'll smooth them out. However, I've always kind of liked how that looked. So we're going to try it out on this guy. This is the first time I've ever done it without smoothing those out. Normally I'd come through and I'd feather them in and everything would be nice and smoothed out, and just makes a nice blended handle there. And you couldn't tell that there was that supporting clay around the base of it. All right, so handle is on. Piece will now go back under some plastic. I'll mist it down, that way everything dries together nicely, and then we will do some glazing on this guy once it's all said and done. Alrighty, so we got 2 coats of our white satin glaze on the outside here. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some pop of color, and then we're gonna carve back to the dark brown clay, which will really outline it. Here's just a sample mini piece that I made with some flowers. We are actually gonna do some miniature pottery, put pottery on the outside of this mug, adding a bunch of these colors here. This one will make a mug. Kind of do that. Do like the handle. Let that dry. Let that dry, and then we'll come back with a carving tool and we will start carving our lines in. All right, so now we have that all carved up, and I'm loving the direction it went, loving how it's coming together. We'll put a thin coat of the white glaze on the inside yet. I've sponged off the bottom, and then we'll have to let this thing completely dry, and we'll fire it one time all the way to cone 5.